All right, we're back on here. I got my True North hat on, so you know I'm going to be talking about Canadian politics. So, I got a news article here from Global News. They posted this on May 25th. And the title of it is Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe sends stern message to those against COVID-19 vaccine. So, I'm a little late in the response, but this is such an important issue, and I really haven't heard anyone else speak on this or even respond to this, which is incredible because of what Scott Moe says in this article. It's just mind-boggling. And I also feel kind of like morally obliged to respond to this because, I'm from Saskatchewan, and he's my premier. So, yeah. Let me just scroll down to his quote here. So, near the end of the quote, I'm not going to lie, I thought I was reading like a direct transcript of like a Mussolini speech or like a Hitler speech or some dictator speech. It's like that crazy. But yeah, you will hear it very soon here. So I'm gonna start from the beginning, and yeah, all right, we'll dissect it right after, and I'll probably work my way backwards. So all right, here we go. Quote: "Even though we are reopening in Saskatchewan, COVID is not disappearing. COVID will not be gone. Those who have chosen to not get vaccinated, you will continue to be at risk not only contracting COVID, but at risk of much more severe outcomes." He goes on to say, "I know that some of you are making this choice, and there are also others encouraging you to maybe not get vaccinated under some misguided notion of defending your personal freedoms. Here's the thing," Moe said. "You're actually the ones that are standing in the way. I know it's a bizarre misconception that politicians like myself and others, that we love imposing these restrictions on people and the general population. I tell you today, nothing could be further from the truth. I hate it, and I look forward to the day that it all ends." All right, now here's where we get to the Mussolini part. "If you really want all your freedoms back, go get in line and get vaccinated. It's really not that big of a deal. We're not asking you to storm the beaches of Normandy. All we're asking you to do is go in and to get a tiny needle in your arm." End quote. Wow. Scott Moe, you did a no-no. You spoke on something you have no authority or right to even speak on or to even say. All right, let's start from, if you really want all your freedoms back, do what I say. That's essentially what you said. Here's the thing, Scott Moe. All right. So our personal rights and freedoms, right? I don't know if you knew this, but they're God-given. That means only God can give them, and only God can take them away. So you can't give something that's not yours to give. You can't take away something that's not yours to take away. See, we're born with these rights and these freedoms. How can you take something away that we're born with? Here's you. This is you, right? You're in your lane. This article saying all this stuff and doing what you're doing in Saskatchewan, boom, you're merging into God's lane. You need to come back in your lane. You need to stay in your lane, Scott Moe. Stay in your lane. The only job you as a government official has, that the government has, and people like you that make up the government, this is your only job. Your only job is this. It's real simple. Ready? Protect and defend our personal God-given rights and freedoms from foreign and domestic threats. That's it. That's literally your only job. You don't give or take away our God-given rights and freedoms. All you do is protect and defend them. That's it. Which leads me to, the last thing you said here. You said, we're not asking you to storm the beaches of Normandy. All we're asking you to do is to go in and get a tiny needle arm. Oh my goodness. Scott Moe, that's a horrible example. That literally goes against you, man. Do you know why those brave men in World War II stormed the beaches of Normandy? They did so to stop and fight back against power-hungry politicians such as yourself. They stormed the beaches of Normandy, again, to protect and defend the citizens back home their God-given rights and freedom. That's what they did. They stormed the beaches of Normandy so that we back home can say, you know what? Nah, I don't want that tiny needle in my arm. Nah, I don't have to listen to you politicians because you have no authority over me. Like, at all. You see, the people are the sovereign, not you. You work for us, Scott Moe. You work for us. And the last time I checked, the Constitution, the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, that's our supreme law of the land. Not you, not politicians. That is. And that document is rooted in biblical principles. Again, God-given, baby. God-given. And so, yeah, you know, that's a horrible example, man. Those brave men in World War II, they fought for our rights and our freedoms. They protected them. They defended them. So that we back home can have the freedom and the rights to say, you know, we don't want that tiny needle in our arm. You know, we don't want to do that. So, yeah, stay in your lane, Scott Moe. There's one more thing I want to touch on. You said you're actually the ones that are standing in the way. I know it's a bizarre misconception, blah, 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 blah. Scott Moe, no. People like me who don't want to get vaccinated, we're not the ones standing in the way of our own God-given rights and freedoms that we were born with. What are you talking about? Again, this was you, right? You're in God's lane. You're the one standing in the way of our God-given rights and freedoms. You need to get back in your lane so that we can carry on our business. You're the one in the way. And you know by saying this, you're pitting people against your own citizens, bro. You're pitting your own citizens against each other. People that are vaccinated are going to look at people like me who aren't going to get vaccinated. Like, oh, you guys are the reasons why, you know, life isn't normal. Or you guys are the reasons why, you know, we don't have our rights and freedoms back and all this stuff. You know this stuff. Come on. Like, no, you need to come out with a public apology, you know, publicly apologizing to everyone saying, you know, I had no right, no authority to say that stuff. Again, God-given, baby. Okay, I just have to really emphasize on that because the government, they've forgotten their role. They've steered out of their lane. And so, you know, Canadians, if you give the government an inch, they're always going to try and take a freaking foot, a meter, sometimes a football field. We got to be careful. We got to know, you know, the government, a lot of these men and women, they're cunning. They're snakes. They're trying to slowly but surely creep their way in, overreach more and more to try and slowly but surely again take our personal rights and freedoms so that they can have more control over our lives. Wake up.